Okay, so here's the deal with the show. The deal with the show is that, first of all, about phones. You two guys, Stephen and Kim.
It's on
No,
silent.
I'm just going to tell you the opposite. We don't care about that here. You can keep your phone out.
Phone a friend.
You can take calls. You can text people. You can make calls during the show. We're not worried about that.
Okay.
So keep the phone turned on. It's more fun that way. I have mine on here. I'm hoping someone's going to call. That's the first thing. Secondly, it's not like an interview show where I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions. It's just a conversation.
Cool.
So you can just, everyone can just keep talking anytime they feel like it and chip in. You don't have to
What?
wait. Exactly, just like that. You don't have to wait for anyone to say anything.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay. So we're pretty much ready to get started. Everybody all right? Everyone got a drink?
I'm very glad you made me get a drink
You are why,
There you go.
Danielle?
because it tastes really good.
What are you drinking?
A white wine,
White wine.
What kind of wine?
Chardonnay, oaky.
I didn't know if it was a Pinot or a...
Kim, you have to talk into the mic. Kim, who are you texting?
Marty Fredrickson,
Who is Marty Fredericks?
major songwriter.
Really?
Yeah.
What's he
What does
written?
major mean?
Oh, let's see. His first song that he ever had a hit was "Jaded" by Aerosmith.
What does a hit
goes from
mean?
There and Pink and Carrie Underwood and on and on and on.
Well, a lot of people might not know who you are, but there's a lot of people who have sold records in New Orleans who have had a lot of records sold. Dr. John, Alan Toussaint. You've probably sold more records than all those people. And yet I think
Not
probably
myself.
very few people know
People I
your
work
name.
with.
But yeah, your name is on them. Kim Stevens is a major A&R guy. From
Cool.
Yeah.
what was it, Warner Brothers?
Atlantic, Capital, Virgin, and was working presently at Hit Shop, which is distributed through Warner's, and doing some additional work with consultant work with a couple other labels.
It's a pretty understated sort of a guy. I think most people in New Orleans don't even know who you are, right?
No.
So you're under the radar.
Yep.
You don't live here, though, do you, Kim?
Yeah. half
You
the
do?
month. I live in the North Shore.
I didn't even know
Pretty
that.
good. I live in Bush.
Oh, shit.
Bush, Louisiana. Have you been there the whole time, ever since you were like a famous?
That's cool.
No, I think when I first met you, I lived by the lakefront, West End.
Oh, yeah, really?
By me.
And you made a whole bunch of money?
I grew up by the lakefront.
Danielle, did you?
I did.
What suburb?
I grew up in Lake Terrace, and my parents live in Lake Shore, and I took a little vacation for 2 years with them.
What does that mean?
I lived with them for 2 years.
Which 2 years? Recently.
As an adult, yes.
Was that
Wow.
after
They can't
Katrina?
get rid of me.
Are you living with them right now?
No,
What happened?
I am an adult.
No, you had to get the hell out.
Yes,
So they're still in Lake...
they're in
something,
Lake Shore.
Lake Shore.
Mhm.
What is the difference between Lakeview, Lake Shore, Lake Vista, and so on?
So along the lake, there are different neighborhoods. There's Lake Shore, Lake Vista, Lake Terrace, Lake Oaks. And then on the other side of Robert E. Lee is Lakeview.
Okay. So you lived there the same time Kim lived there? Do you ever see each other walking dogs?
No. I don't think so.
Kim, you have a dog?
Yeah.
What have you got?
I got a miniature long-haired dachshund.
Ah, cute. Danielle, what sort of dog do you have?
I have a Rhodesian Ridgeback.
Wow, that's a big dog.
She's actually not so big for a Ridgeback.
What's her name?
Pearl.
Pearl? Kim, what's your dog's name?
Moonshine.
Nice.
They should go on like a date. Do anyone else have dogs here?
I have a dog.
Stephen, what do you got?
It's generic. A little bit of everything.
That's the name of the dog?
Generic.
That's a
Brand.
great idea.
Great
for-
name.
It's a generic
Yeah.
dog.
A NOLA
name.
It's a
special
mutt.
bred.
It's a mutt.
It's a mutt. I've
What's
never
that?
heard anyone
A
describe
NOLA
their dog.
special
as-
bred.
Yes, exactly.
What about you guys?
No.
I have 2 dogs.
You have 2 dogs.
They're
Sophia.
Scotties.
They're both Scotties?
Mhm.
Are they related to each other?
They're twins,
Twins. Are they identical?
pretty much. I mean, I can tell them apart, but that's because.
What's the distinguishing feature?
I think their farts smell different.
Do they?
Yeah.
Andy,
Well, they have
as you-
different
you-
collars.
different collars.
Do you think or do you know?
I'm
Does the
pretty
collars-
sure,
Does the collars make it have a different scent?
So,
You mean, if you wear a different collar, does it make your fart smell different?
A fart by any other name does not smell as
That's
sweet.
an interesting question. We need to include that in the show when we get started. Can you remember that, Andrew?
No.
Oh shit!
Oh, yeah.
Somebody
none of this
can
made it to the
remember that
show?
question. We can keep this in if you like.
Oh, it'd be great. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
Grant,
No, we can't.
You go to Destin a lot?
Destin.
I know
Why,
how they
because
edit it,
of
and
my
I can be
T-shirt,
pretty
my
sure
shirt.
that's going to stay
I love
in there.
I love going past Destin. Destin is kind
yeah,
of
well-
like finished.
Yeah, no doubt.
Where do you go?
I like to go to Grayton or
Seaside?
anywhere on 30A. Yeah, Seaside's too expensive for me. You have to pay for that, Kim, if we're going together.
Can I come?
I remember when it
Yeah.
used to just be like Seaside.
I go for
And
free,
now
so it
it's
doesn't-
like everything's there.
yeah, I know. Now it's but still beautiful. 30A
That's
is
awesome.
still beautiful. Hey, can you tilt that mic up a little tiny wee bit? Just sort of tilt it.
And yes, you can go with me anytime you want.
Just
For free?
yeah,
Of
there
course.
you go. That's it.
Like that?
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Okay. Cool.
Steven, do you guys go to the beach much out there?
I go about once a month.
Once a month.
Nice.
How come?
Damn.
Do you have a house there?
A buddy of mine runs condominiums there.
So you get to stay for free?
I do.
That's killer.
And my cousin has a house in watercolor, so I stay there.
Oh, nice.
That's
Oh,
beautiful
that's
too.
It's fun.
Kim,
Beautiful.
where do you go, Kim?
Europe.
Europe,
Wow.
the continent.
Yeah.
What part?
Holland, usually.
You're to the beach in Holland?
No, I don't go to the beach.
You don't like the beach?
I love the beach. I just don't go there when I go on vacation.
You really? You like to go to Europe on vacation? Why is that?
Too long of a drive.
It's just it's not bad once you go on the other side. No,
Once you get there, it's all right. You don't like to just go to the beach and chill out and smoke
no,
some
I
weed?
usually go by the pool.
I live for
You
it.
know, but I do like the seaside. It's beautiful there.
Seaside is beautiful. See, Steven's one of these guys. Once a month is the way to go,
No doubt.
if you can do it.
I like it even in the wintertime. I really do.
Oh,
you
it's
still-
beautiful in the
Is it?
winter.
38's got that Songwriter Fest that's going on right now.
You're absolutely
Oh,
right.
really?
The Songwriter Fest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a bunch of friends playing.
Yeah.
Marty Fredrickson's playing.
No, he's not.
What's he
Playing in
doing?
Nashville tonight.
What's he doing? Why is he texting you?
He's playing in because he's writing with a project that I'm developing right now.
Oh, anybody any good that we should know about?
They're called the Moxies. They're from Cleveland, but I moved them to Nashville. They're like 19, 20 years old.
Right. What do you think they have to move for? Is that where it's all going?
Because it's where all the songwriters are and where Marty lives. So Marty's doing the project and he's writing the majority of the record.
What sort of music?
It's got a 50s kind of a touch to the guitar meets the Arctic Monkeys.
What do you think about that?
Do you like the Arctic
Guys,
Monkeys?
everyone's in the
awesome.
music
Yeah, I
business
would
here
love
pretty
that.
much.
I love to hear
Danielle, tilt that mic
How many
back a
writers
wee
do they have in the band?
bit. Yeah, that's right.
Do you feel like?
Well, it's the main singer is the writer, but
Yeah.
I brought in like Marty because Marty's had a lot of success, and Marty's doing the project with me because he's going to produce it.
Nice.
And then I brought in a couple other writers in Nashville that I work with on some other stuff. And, so we're hoping to get in the studio probably by March. And they're actually playing tonight in Youngstown. They're
Is-
playing for the university up there. They've, I think we pre-sold I think it was like just under 1,000 tickets because they do real well in that area because they're originally from Cleveland.
So when you start working with someone, and if you have the thought that they should be writing with someone else, I guess the most a rigid way to put that is that their songs aren't good enough by themselves. They could use some outside, but obviously you don't say it that way.
Yeah. I had to kind of like discuss it with the singer, and he goes, "Well, I'm the writer." I said, "Yeah, well, then go write me 10 hits, and then I don't have to bring in another writer." Okay, if you can do that, then we're fine.
Yeah, sure.
But if you can't, and I need somebody to come in, it's going to be a little stronger. Add that element, because in the long run, you're going to want to make money off of what you sell. You know that. You're an
yeah, of
artist.
course. But do you ever have the nostalgia for that record where they're not all hits, but they all sound like the same guy? Like that the guy's heartbroken, so they're all heartbreak songs, or
Personally, I like that, but as a record label, they don't
not
like
that
that.
way
If it ain't
anymore,
selling,
is
they're
it?
going, no.
No.
They go, why we sign this if it's not doing any business? you
Yeah,
know?
of course.
Well, talking to business, what happens when you make a record now? Who's buying them?
They're stealing.
Yeah.
No.
I know. Everyone's
Are they,
stealing everything.
the biggest problem is, and I'm not the biggest fan of Spotify, but people are, because you pay a subscription rate, and you can listen as many times as you want and stream it, and you don't have ownership.
Right.
And so Spotify pays for the licensing, and it goes partially to the artist. But when you have a million streams on Spotify, you know how much that's worth to an artist? Less than $200
Wow.
On Spotify.
on
Yeah.
Spotify.
Bands never make money from their CDs anyway. I'm
Really?
I'm pro Spotify. Yeah, ask Hootie and the Blowfish, who had the one of the most top-selling records of all time. Ask how much money they made off that record.
Yeah, but the business was different then
But
too.
ask Michael,
Atlanta made that
ask
money.
Michael
Exactly.
Jackson.
I agree with you. So they weren't making money off of it. So they make. I mean, a band that puts out a good record, I look at it as, hey, let's make money on the road. Let's make money, selling tickets and selling merchandise. Because I mean, if you look back over time, I mean, unless you're a mega superstar, I don't know how many bands make that much money from the record company.
But because the record company steals it all.
I don't. Well, I don't believe that. But
Well, then what's the reason?
well,
that
there's
you're
a lot of
selling
recoupment. There's a lot of recoupment. I'll let Kim answer that. I mean, but I can tell you that you have to sell. You have to get into the. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you have to sell a lot of records for the artist sees that first dollar. Sure. I don't care how high you chart on the charts.
Well, it depends on how much you spent to make it, but I would say you probably have to sell 500,000 records before you see a nickel.
But people used to spend people used to sell 500,000 records pretty regularly.
You know what's amazing? This year, they had 4 platinum albums for the whole year. Okay? One of them was Frozen, which is a soundtrack.
Right.
Okay? Because they had a huge song, was it Let It Go or whatever it was?
Yeah.
That's what sold that. Mm-hmm. The other one was Jason Aldean, Taylor Swift. She's the biggest seller of the year, but she didn't put it out until December. And when she did, in a few weeks, she sold like 3 million records. But she's like the biggest artist right now.
She took it off Spotify.
Right.
That was the whole big
put it on Google Plus.
drama. Right.
I believe they put it on Google Plus.
Yeah.
But they took it off of Spotify because
But is there a difference?
No, but they knew that Spotify had a bigger listening audience, and they put it on there. They weren't going to buy their records, so that's why they pulled it. But they'll go on Spotify, I would think, eventually, once all their sales are pretty much maxed out. I mean, she's still the number one selling album 5 weeks out.
But back to that thought that, a artist won't see a nickel until 500,000 records are sold. They will see an advance, though, before that, right?
And they will not get anything until they pay me back that advance.
Right. So, they're living comfy.
Oh, come on, the advance is not that big. The advance is not that big. If you're an artist and you want to make money, you better have a fan base.
Yeah,
sure,
see,
but if 500,000 records is pretty serious, So,
well, if you sell 500,000 records, chances are you're going to be selling tickets as well.
Sure, that's true.
And I agree.
And so, is that just the game? Is the game that that artists have never or should never expect to make money off of the recorded music itself? It should always be about, or has it always been about that? And it's just a new way to think about that.
You know what? You better have that mindset. I mean, if you
it's interesting. I signed a band in the 90s called Collective Soul. Yeah. And they did quite well. They had 10 number one songs on radio. Mm-hmm. When they left our label and he put out his own record, we were hanging out one night. He goes, I made more money off of Youth than I did on my triple platinum records with you guys. And he only sold 400,000, but he was making so much profit per record. Mm-hmm. Now, I mean, it depends on, some of them that, don't sell as well. Like, I agree with Steven. Most of your money now is made pretty much on touring, or you're selling swag, or you're making it off your publishing. Label's going to pay you a little bit, but they're not going to pay you what those people pay you if you have a great big hit. And when you're out touring.
So what's the deal then, Kim? Why work with a band and get a songwriter and hire everybody and pay for a recording session? What are you going to get out of that at the end of the day?
Exposure.
That's it. So you're looking at
nobody's going to know this band exists until they hear a song.
But you're looking at a bigger picture then. You're not looking at record sales anymore.
No, I'm looking down the road. Like with the Moxies, I look at more of that being a live act. Okay?
Right. So, but what's your part on that? Are you their manager or what?
I manage.
So you're not the record label anymore.
No, not there. I still do A&R. I just don't do. I manage 2 bands and 2 songwriters, because songwriters make the money because they write the songs, and if they're big hits, then they're going to get some money, and I'm going to get a piece of it because I manage it.
How do you manage a songwriter? What do you have to do?
Set them up with different writers. Go get somebody to plug the songs to people. Not everybody writes their own music, as you know. In Nashville, there are more songwriters than probably musicians in the city, because every time you turn around, there's another songwriter you run into. Even the woman that changed my bed linen in the hotel told me she's a songwriter. So everybody's a songwriter.
Was she any good? Did you ask her for a tape or something, or whatever they give you these days?
No, I gave her an email address and said send me something.
Did she do it?
No.
You never know. That would be such a great story, though, wouldn't it?
But the best thing is you realize how many people want to do it, but they never take the time to do it. So that's when you say, hey, send it to me like this. Well, they go, okay, whatever. That's when I know when I'm at a conference and you're doing an A&R panel and people want to give you music, go, no, I'll lose it between now and when I get to my office. So what you do, just send it to me. And then you realize some of these people just don't do that, I've given you the opportunity, but you didn't take the opportunity.
Because they're making it up, or they just don't get around to it. And this is what happens between...
laziness sometimes.
Right.
Are you based full-time out of New Orleans?
No.
Half
the month in Nashville.
That's what I figured. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm going to let these guys play
You ever been to Nashville?
I have passed through. I've never stayed there, no.
I'd probably say it's the hottest city in America right now.
In terms of music or just in
terms
general?
of everything.
Why is that?
City's exploded.
It's what Atlanta was 20 years ago.
Yeah, I'd say it reminds me a lot of Charlotte, North Carolina before banking business came in, and it went like that.
Do you feel like New Orleans is exploding on the same level, or no?
I love New Orleans to death. I've been here all my life.
Yeah.
I've been a resident forever. But the thing is, it basically, there's more opportunity to a degree for the music industry in Nashville because there's New York, L.A., and then there's Nashville. And because of the songwriters, there's several different genres of music business there. It's not just country. Everybody thinks that Nashville's a country town. It's not. It's pretty much, if you live there, it's rock or indie rock.
Okay.
Because when I first got hired by Virgin and Capitol, they said, LA or New York, and I said, no, I want to go to Nashville. And they said, this is a country city. I said, that's your misconception, man. I said, because when you start looking at the people that are out there, Paramore, Kings of Leon, you start naming all these, they go, wait a minute, they're all from Nashville? Yeah. And then I go, Pop, how about Kesha? No, she lives in LA. No, she wanted to be a country artist at one time. She lived in Nashville. There's like this whole thing. Christian is the number one place in the world, is Nashville, Tennessee.
I hear so much about Brooklyn being like the indie
Brooklyn had a minute.
central. It had a minute?
Had a minute.
So what keeps you here rather than in Nashville full time? You know, there's got to be some sort of draw.
New Orleans doesn't suck. The only thing is when I'm in Nashville and I'm working, it's like I got to go back to New Orleans and get a fix because I love the city to death.
It's like a drug.
But the food's not too good in Nashville. In
Well,
New Orleans, you get spoiled, especially
see.
when you're from here.
Yeah.
Everybody goes, oh, this is a great restaurant. You go, this it would never equal what we have in New Orleans.
Yeah.
But I also like the fact that it's a music scene and the fact that on Monday night I go out to BMI night and they do 8 off 8. There's 8 performers that play 3 songs each. Now, if I want to go see you later after I see you and I like one of your songs, I'll stay for your whole set.
Yeah.
But kind of like they did my, they kind of give me 8 people to look at and there's
Right.
everything there. The next night is ASCAP. They do, which happens to be my favorite club in Nashville, which is the Basement, which fits about 70 people and it's real intimate and it's actually a basement.
In Nashville.
It's below a record store called Grimey's.
Oh, okay.
And actually, Grimey owns the building. He pretty much is the guy who mixes most of the time. And but it's fun. And my friend went one day and he called me up and said, "You're never going to believe who's on stage right now at Grimey's, Metallica." I said,
Wow.
"No way." He said, "They're doing a warm-up show for Bonnaroo," and he said it was so funny because I walked in Grimey's and everybody had a Metallica T-shirt on, and Grimey's is an indie store. And they go, "Why are you wearing that?" He goes, "Metallica's playing downstairs. If you stay, you can see them play." So he did. I said, "Well, who's in the audience?" He goes, "It was like a bunch of fans from fan club. It was the people at Grimey's and about 15 cops because they were doing security." And the cop got on the mic and said, "You're not gonna believe this, man. Metallica's on."
Got the whole police station down
The
there.
bars on the cops are
That's
sitting
great.
on the place.
The bar's called the Basement, right?
Yeah.
The Basement.
Yeah.
So, Stephen, who's calling you?
That's the lead singer of Flowtribe calling, actually.
Oh, really?
KC,
Yes, KC.
huh? Yeah.
Stephen's the manager's Flowtribe.
Yeah. Stephen, I
Mate.
think I met you before, by the way.
Where's that?
At the Windsor.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Through
of
Tom
course.
Drummond.
Of
yeah.
course. You were playing there.
Yeah, with Amanda DeCorbier.
Yeah, and I told you you had something special, if you remember that.
Yeah, I do. I do remember that. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I just saw you in a paper with another band.
Oh,
Who's
really?
that?
Yeah,
Oh.
with another girl.
Oh,
And
well, that's probably
that's
her.
you.
This is called
That's
So
probably
Long
Sophia.
Storyland.
So you have you changed?
Changed what? What do you mean?
Partners?
Oh, no. I'm still working with both Sophia and with Amanda.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, we're still doing our thing.
Yeah, I'm a fan for sure.
Oh, thank you.
You can take the call if you want, Steve. So, you guys, this is a band called So Long Storyland. It's actually got a comma in it. So Long, comma,
does it?
Storyland.
I thought we took that out.
Did you take the comma out?
We might have.
What was the discussion?
There might be an
What was the
exclamation
discussion
point at
about
the
putting the comma in?
I don't think there was a discussion.
Who put the comma in? I've never seen a band. Have you
I
guys
thought
can
maybe
you
it
seen
mi-
a band name with a comma in it? So Long, comma, Storyland.
Yeah. I think there's a typo
Not
there.
lately.
Spell check.
Spell check. Oh, spell check.
That's a good one.
So Long Storyland, according to my information here, is an art project that takes its inspiration from New Orleans Storyland and City Park.
Yeah.
That's what you're calling yourselves, an art project?
I think so. Yeah. That's what we
Okay.
started off- Oh,
And you-
yeah. I gotta get more close.
And you're from New Orleans originally?
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
we are. Yeah.
So you want to play something?
Well, yeah.
Well,
we'd
we-
love
yeah.
to.
Yeah, it says here that you're working on a concept record, a song
Right.
cycle for New Orleans that spans its history, geography, its triumphs and tragedies, blending folk, bluegrass, pop, rock, electronic, and orchestral music.
That's right. Yeah.
The band's already got 2 singles out that it's been actually being played on radio.
We do, yes.
Who's
We're
playing
just
it?
starting. We've got just a few radio stations around the country. One's called Slammin' Tunes, and
Are these college stations? Or
some of them are
Okay.
college
Some of them.
stations. Yeah.
How many stations you on?
Well, how many?
29,
Wow, really?
I think.
I didn't know it was that high. I mean,
To me,
that's-
added to 29 radio stations without, you have no label and no nothing.
We have
right?
nothing.
No.
Yeah.
There's nothing.
Right.
That's pretty impressive, isn't it? Wouldn't you say?
Wow.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, did you send these to these stations, or did you?
We did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, so we've just been making moves. We have her mother is actually our manager, and she's been magnificent. She's been giving us all these opportunities.
Andrew, that's where you've gone wrong. You
My
need
mom.
to get mom.
Gotta get my
hooked up.
mom involved.
I saw Andrew play in a men's clothing store in Nashville.
Really?
That's true. Yeah.
Yes, I did.
Well,
That's a cool-
there's two questions
that's a
that
cool hang.
comes out of that.
That was a great story.
What were you doing playing there, and what were you doing shopping there?
I went there to see Mr. Andrew Duhon.
You went specifically. What'd you think?
I like Andrew. I've seen Andrew a lot of times.
He's amazing, isn't he?
Yes, he
All
is.
right. Wait till you hear these guys too. So listen, so long, comma Storyland, or is the comma gone or not gone?
Yeah, I don't think the comma. No, the comma's not there. I think that's a.
The comma's gone.
Speaking of Comic-Con,
You know, comma.
Talking of Comic-Con, that's a very good point. We're going to bring
That
that
was
up.
the other day at. No, that's wrong.
sorry,
Yeah.
tangent.
There's no comma.
There is no comma in
There's
So
no
Long
comma.
Storyland.
Let me put that to rest.
Okay, I have it written down here with a comma. I'm taking
All
it
right,
out.
take it out,
Okay,
yeah,
comma's
that's
gone. All right. Okay, so, what are you going to play for us?
Oh, we're gonna play a song called Cassidy.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you want to tell us a little bit about it, or you want to tell us about it after?
We'll just play it and let you think on it.
Okay. Hang on, let's just swing these around and see if we can.
I don't know if you'll still be able to hear the guitar as well, but. Ooh. Is everybody ready?
When we were just little kids, we played on Grandpa's old farm and took our motorbikes around the lake, and we got lost for the day. And when we came back round again, we drug it off and brushed the leaves of evergreen, evergreen. When we were just little kids, we played on Grandpa's old farm and took all of our fishing sticks and tried our luck down at the pond. The water's still, the crickets sang, morning wind and evening came. The limes and lily pads were green, were always green. And the sky above was blue, and the sky above was blue. You went back to Arkansas. I remember hurricanes tipping the glass in our front yard while I danced to the wind and rain. The next day, by the levee, the Mississippi River flooded in our front porch. Your father's dreams, one for each of his 3 sons, and they still grow today, and they still grow today. The river's wide, so deep it goes. The water's fast, then it slows. Time moves, summer grows. Cold, a howling north wind blows. The river's wide, so deep it goes. The water's fast, then it slows. Time moves, summer grows. Cold, a howling north wind blows. The darling rose, the crooked crows. Cassidy, Cassidy, the darling rose, the crooked ghost of Cassidy, Cassidy.
Okay. So Long Storyland, no comma.
No comma.
Wow. So this is the. Hey, Chris, can you turn me up a little bit here? Thanks. So this is the first time you guys are doing this. You just started.
Yeah, we just did.
Recently.
We just did, yeah.
So
recently.
now you're going to have to answer the same stupid questions every time you do these interviews.
Well, it comes with the territory.
So what do you think the first one's going to be?
How did we start?
No, that wasn't going to be my... That was
That was
okay.
gonna be
You
my
could-
first
that
one.
was what's your first one going to be?
All right.
How'd you start?
Are we taking guesses, or can I just ask?
No, you can just ask.
All right, yeah.
Well,
So who's doing the writing in the?
Well, I'd say starting off, it's been me writing most of the songs. But
Mhm.
I tell you, she's a budding songwriter.
Yeah, right
She's
on.
got a lot of ideas as well.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm getting there.
Yeah. Totally. She's
Right on.
she's awesome.
Cool.
So you guys met at school?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
did.
Not
Isn't that funny?
not the same way that most people meet at school. Right?
That's right. That's right. I was her teacher.
What were you teaching?
I taught music.
Of course.
Yeah.
I thought it was something.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Figured
No,
it'd be
It
something
would be
else,
something
but,
weird like
yeah.
gym.
Destrahan?
No. What is it?
Destrahan?
Destrahan.
What school?
Oh no.
Um,
Our Lady of Perpetual
That,
Motion.
that was a joke, by the way.
Oh, I got you.
Perpetual motion?
I didn't get it. Huh?
Our Lady of Perpetual Motion.
Yeah, it's in the Maroney.
Is
That's
no.
not actually
What is it
a
really?
school, I assume.
What's that?
What's the school really?
It's
It's a school.
All right,
you
got
know,
it. Yeah,
I-
it's
we were
fine.
told not to tell.
That's
Oh,
great,
you're not
that's
allowed to
fine.
say the name of the school. Oh, that's
Yeah.
that's
Is that
sort of a
alright?
marketing thing. Yeah,
Yeah, I think
fine.
that's fine.
Okay.
Well, we can get
I'll tell you
advice.
later.
Yeah.
We'll
Will
have
you?
a beer.
We
It's
don't
a secret.
care.
No, we
Okay.
don't. So, are you still in school?
I am still in
Sophia?
the same school.
You're still in the same school, yet
What
unnamed.
grade are you in?
I'm in 8th grade.
That's pretty funny, right?
That's
So
not
aren't you
funny at
supposed to
all.
be in class right now, not sitting in a
I-
bar somewhere?
I got out of class at 3:23 exactly.
Wow, okay.
That's how our school works.
So what are what are the other kids in the school? Are they girls and boys or just girls?
It's all girls.
It's all girls. And what do they think about this so far?
I don't really know. I don't really.
No problem.
I-
really what?
I don't really like. Honestly, if they don't like it, I don't really care. It's what I like to do, and if they don't
No,
like
I'm
it,
sure they
then
like it.
Yeah.
How could they not like it? You're going to
Well,
be
how-
a fucking superstar.
How long?
I mean, sorry about my.
it's,
I didn't mean to
it's
say.
okay.
She hears much
Yeah.
worse, I'm sure.
Do you? That's another thing. Now you're thrust into this world with
Yeah.
people who have no education like me. Are you going to stay in school or what?
Yeah.
Don't bother. That's a total
Yeah,
waste.
it's a waste of time.
Drop out now
I
and get in the
agree.
music business.
Yeah.
As I saw on
Right,
Instagram
guys?
today, I didn't use algebra for the last 3 days. Okay, so
Algebra?
yeah, someone said on their Instagram, this is the third day I haven't had to use algebra.
Nah.
Very good. So that's pretty exciting what's going on for you guys, all right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
So do you play out in New Orleans a lot?
I mean, we haven't. The last gig that we played was, well, yesterday we were on WTUL, and then we played Gretna Fest.
Cool.
So
How's Mom doing as a manager? Is she getting you plenty of gigs, or do you need someone like Stephen Klein to step in?
she's been good so far.
She has.
She's done
Does
a
she want to
pretty good
stick with
job.
it? Does she want to be like a real manager, or she's just doing it till she
Well,
can kick you
there's the added
upstairs?
factor that her daughter is, she's promoting
Yeah.
her daughter, so that's obviously, she's going to take
She's
first
thinking about
priority,
it,
but
though.
she takes it very seriously.
But she wants to be a full-time
Oh,
manager.
yeah.
She's shaking her head. No, she doesn't. She'd be happy.
Okay, well, then
let
never
me
mind.
tell you about Stephen Klein. Stephen's the founder of Stephen Klein Management, as you might suppose. It's an artist management company that's guided the careers of a succession of popular bands who've sold records in the millions and had numerous singles on Billboard music charts, kicking off in 1995 with the alternative rock band Deadeye Dick. You remember them?
Yep.
They had a nationwide hit with a song called New Age Girl.
You don't eat beef, sure like the bone.
Tell us what she's like.
Oh, Deadeye Dick. I can't understand his accent.
What do you
That's why
think I was saying?
I thought you said
Comma.
Deadeye. You're going to keep pushing that comma.
It's not Deadeye, comma Dick. It's just Deadeye Dick. Okay, yeah, and then Steve also managed Cowboy Mouth, and got them a major labor deal and a #1 hit as well. That song Jenny Says, remember that?
Yeah,
That was
I
all-
remember. How can you forget?
Bought my house.
Radio.
All right, really. Now, okay, let's stop the presses. How'd you buy a house out of that? It wasn't record sales, was it?
No.
No.
Again,
Okay,
it was
what was it?
Touring, live
Touring.
shows. We sold out all over the world.
Really?
Yeah.
But
I mean,
because
not
of
yeah,
the record.
Yeah, not arenas, but I mean nice sized clubs.
That's okay. Even back then, I
Sure.
thought back then you had a hit record and you got like a gold record and all that sort of stuff, and you made
Well,
money.
We have a couple gold records, not with Cowboy Mouth, but Deadeye Dick. But again, we never saw money from the record company. It was all touring and sync rights from being in the Dumb and Dumber movie with Jim Carrey. I mean that
Film
kind
and
of stuff.
television. That's where it's at.
And now you're managing Flowtribe.
That is correct.
And how'd that happen?
Funny story and very short. I was in Destin, Florida,
Uh-huh.
and me and a buddy of mine were looking for a fun place to go, girls and all that kind of stuff, looking for that. And there was a big crowd outside in a parking lot at a place called Funky Blue Shack. Walked in, and Flowtribe was playing, and I said, this band is incredible. Who is it? So found out it was Flowtribe. Still had never heard of them. And went up to them and gave them a business card, and they were from New Orleans. And that's how it started. They called me on Monday after we got back.
How long ago was that?
A little bit more than a year and a half.
So how long does it take to make them into superstars? What happened?
I'll let Kim answer that. I mean, there's two paths for a band to get to superstar level, and they can either have a radio hit or they can have a great live show. And that's not to say you can't have both.
Right.
But Flowtribe has a great live show, and we're taking it on the road. We're this week we're playing. We're headed up to Auburn, Alabama, then Birmingham, then we're going to play Washington D.C. and Baltimore and New York. And I
Do you go with them?
I do not. I have a. Who asked?
Sorry, that was me.
We have a tour manager.
Oh, cool.
So I'm the personal manager. I don't tour with the band.
You can't hang with the youngsters?
No, I can't. I'm in bed before they play the first song. But I expect some sellouts on this show, on this tour, on this run.
So cool. Okay, Andrew's picked up a guitar. That means
Awesome.
It's time for me to tell you that our show today is brought to us by Petite Pet Care. If you're going out of town or have a crazy schedule, the folks at Petite Pet Care will take care of your pet in his or her own home. For loving care when you're not there, go to petitepetcare.com. Also by Basics Swim and Gym, a full range of fashion, swimsuits, workout, and yoga clothes with style. The all-new Basics Swim and Gym is on Magazine Street near Jefferson Avenue. And by our friends at Hangover Destroyer, the only all-natural product medically proven to prevent a hangover. Go to the Hangover Destroyer website, hdestroyer.com. Write happy hour on the coupon code and get 30% off of Hangover Destroyer and seize the dawn. We have some free samples of Hangover Destroyer, actually, that Graham DePonte, our producer, has here, which we'll leave you all with.
Man, you're good. You should be on the radio.
I surely, why aren't I wonder?
The Zephyr.
Back on the old Zephyr days, that's where Kim and I met back on 106.1 The Zephyr. And Steve, you were the manager of 106.7 in the end at some point.
Yeah, for about 8 years.
Kidding. This is
8
news to me.
years.
Cool.
Yeah, that was. Hey, Andrew, I'm going to make you play a song while you got the guitar here. What about it?
Sure.
Okay, then I'm going to tell you a little bit about Danielle Paciera, who's very quietly sitting here in the wings.
Yep. I'm going to play a song to the music industry. The song's called They Don't Make 'Em Like They Used To. Goes like this. Oh, Mr. Joe's been fixing cars long as I remember. Fender to fender, full engine overhaul. His pride and joy is that old Buick. Only time he'll ever use it is to drive his wife to church and the grocery store. Like they've done 30 years of Sundays before. And they don't make 'em like they used to anymore. Everything they know they learned from the Second World War. Broken strings, broken hearts, take 'em apart and put 'em back together. Drive your best girl around forever in an old Skylark. 'Cause they don't make 'em like they used to anymore. Yeah, and I know Sal down at the music shop. He's a modern day Geppetto. Instead of boys, he fixes cellos and my guitar. He give a smile when I walk in. I'll take a break and get to talking about the way things got to be the way they are. He'll say, just keep playing them old blues on that old guitar. They don't make 'em like they used to, no, anymore. Everything they know they learned from the Second World War. Broken strings, broken hearts, take 'em apart and put 'em back together. Drive your best girl around forever in an old Skylark. skylark, 'cause they don't make 'em like they used to anymore. Bad habits we fell into, trading old for brand new, till a man can't fix a damn thing anymore. I gotta hand it to my dad and his before, 'cause they don't make 'em like they used to anymore. Everything they know they learned from the Second World War. Broken strains, broken hearts, take 'em apart and put 'em back together. Drive your best girl around forever in an old Skylark, 'cause they don't make 'em like they used to now. They don't make 'em like they used to now. They don't make 'em like they used to anymore.
Oh, very nice.
Thanks, y'all.
Andrew, Duhon.
You know, I feel like I'm doing something wrong because I'm hearing all this beautiful music so close. It's so nice.
What would we be doing wrong?
I don't know. I'm
you
not
don't feel
sharing
you-
it with everybody.
you don't-
It seems
you
like
don't
it's all
deserve
mine
it?
here. I'm not used to these headphones.
Ah, well, that's
That
what
was
it's
just
like.
for you. Oh, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
It was beautiful. Nice
Yeah,
song.
both of y'all.
Yeah, really. It's great music, isn't it, Danielle? What do you listen to at home?
It really depends. Depends on my mood. It's a big
Yeah.
variety.
Yeah, that's pretty much the same. Everyone depends on the mood, but like between what? What happens when you're happy? What are you listening to?
Well, today it was Alan Toussaint.
Okay, that's
And
good.
I like Ella Fitzgerald a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I have a thing for Neil Diamond.
That's okay. That's okay.
I don't see anything wrong with that.
You like Neil Diamond?
I do.
Me too.
He was on The Last Waltz. That's like, Ticket to Cool. And that's good enough.
What makes you put on a Neil Diamond? Do you have CDs still, or you listen on Spotify, or what?
On the iPod or Pandora.
Pandora.
I made
Is-
a Neil Diamond station.
Do you have a Neil Diamond station? What comes up as well as Neil Diamond? Perry Como?
America comes up.
America.
Some CSN.
Today.
Yeah, okay.
I have an America station too, and a CSN station.
Is that on Sirius or something? What is that?
That's
don't have
Pandora. You don't know about
Pandora.
Pandora?
Okay, I missed
Yeah.
that part.
You
Sorry.
have a CSN&Y? You just have CSN?
Kim, come in.
Don't have CSN&Y?
Might be
Just have-
why.
okay.
Might be why.
All right.
I do like the Y. That's another thing I listen to.
Neil Young.
You guys are talking in code.
I want one of those.
Okay. Well, that's all pretty
It's a
good.
big variety. KEXP, I was saying earlier, is a radio station out of Seattle that I like to stream sometimes. OZ a lot.
Yeah.
A lot. So you got a lot of music going on at your place. Are you home a lot?
No,
Pretty much never.
In your car a lot?
not really.
So, what do you
In the
listen to? In
car.
the car. So it
In
says.
yoga studios.
So you do yoga. You're also a dietitian and nutritionist.
I am.
Apparently, that's what you do for a living. Mm-hmm. You have a functional and integrative nutrition practice in Uptown New Orleans.
I do, and I help people avoid hangovers too.
I like that.
Use
What's
you.
your
Tell
system?
I had a
about
question
What-
earlier.
what's your number?
Is this cracking?
Yeah.
You can't hear anything?
No, it's kind of cracking. No.
It might be the gum.
Try the
No, the mic.
cable.
Your mic
Gotta be
hadn't
the
been plugged in
headphones.
anyway.
Okay.
What was the question, Ken?
Now, I was going to ask if she bought her yoga pants at the yoga store that you promoted.
Oh, that's a
on
good,
the
very
station.
good question. Do you buy your yoga pants at Basics
I did not
Women
because
Gym?
I have had my yoga pants since before they have been in business.
Well, they wear out.
Well,
But
it's time to get new ones.
They
and
were
you know where you should
started
go?
by Basics Underneath.
Basics underneath is the
Which is
lingerie store
across
across
the
the
street.
street. So you go there as
Yes.
well.
Thank you.
Are you wearing lingerie right now from Basics Underneath?
I
It's
am.
not anything fancy, but yes.
But yes, that's the answer. Okay. It says here in 2006 that you became the only person in the state of Louisiana to attain the highly regarded Certified Clinical Nutritionist credential, which is CCN,
Yes,
which is very similar to CSN.
it is.
Why? Comma.
Why did I get it?
No, well, no, but that's a good question, though. Why did you get it? What is it?
So I was trained as a dietitian, but in my mind, and unfortunately not everybody can see this except y'all, nutrition is huge, and dietetics is this very small piece, and it's not very effective. And I
we
was
don't,
ultimately...
We don't know the difference between nutrition and dietetics.
I'll
though.
go into
Do
it,
we?
but
Anybody know the
ultimately-
difference?
Nope.
So nutrition has
No.
to do more with how the body's working on a biochemical level, and dietetics is a little bit more of
Should have stayed in school.
here is
Biochemical level. Here we go.
your
Already fucked up.
here's your just cookie cutter staple diet. So what I do is I really tailor everything to the individual. I look at their labs. I look at their
Labs. What is that? Like
blood
Blood
chemistry.
They're dogs.
Yes, I do
What
look
if you
at my
don't have a
dogs'
lab?
labs
So
too.
you get the blood work done, and then we take our blood work back to you. And what can you see in it? Because I mean, I've had a blood test. They have to check off. There's like 1,000 things you can. So what are you looking for?
I'm looking to see how different organ systems are working. I'm looking to see if there's
Which
any
organs?
deficiencies. The liver, the gastrointestinal tract, be it the stomach or the large small intestine, the adrenal glands, thyroid, pituitary.
Okay, every time you
Isn't
go to
it-
the doctor and they check off one of these things, it costs more if I get another one of these. How much does it cost to get all these?
If you get your doctor to order it, it shouldn't cost too much. If you go through me, the one lab I use the most would be about $125, $200.
Oh, that's not too bad. And then we can find out all the stuff that's going on. Then you can tell us what to eat to feel better. And
Yes, but it's a lot more than just what to eat.
What is
It's
it?
about how do you view food, how do you approach it, how do you build your health habits beyond food
How are you supposed to view it?
positively, not necessarily as something to be avoided. Instead of choosing something because it doesn't have a lot of fat or a lot of calories, choose something because it has a lot of purple.
Does this mean you have like a lot of like fewer clients because you're more thorough with
Yes.
each one of them? I see.
The first visit, I try to keep it to an hour and a half, but it's a
usually
challenge.
Goes over.
Are you kidding when you say purple?
no, eating for color is good. I tell people to eat a rainbow every meal.
Really?
You'll feel a lot better. And
Okay.
not artificial.
Not artificial.
I was
Okay.
going straight for the
What-
Although
gummy
what
I
do
do
you
like
got?
gum.
Green candy.
What's the first
Yeah.
thing you think of? Sophia, what's the first thing you think of when you think of a white food? Don't say cocaine because you're only in 8th grade.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't thinking that. Probably
Okay.
cauliflower.
Cauliflower.
Nice choice.
That's a
Thanks
good
for
one.
No,
like,
it is
it's
a
like
good
Family
one.
Feud where we all clapped after the guests, right?
I have purple cauliflower and gold cauliflower at my house and
Show
something
off.
called, I think it's romesco. I always get romesco
is
and
it?
romanesco confused. It's
One's
like
Italian and
a
one's
pointy.
Polish.
One's a vegetable and one's a sauce. And romanesco is, or romesco, whichever, is a pointy kind of cauliflower broccoli looking thing. So I have my vegetable platter that's purple, green, and gold.
Oh,
Where do you
that's pretty
shop to
cool
get all
for
this
Mardi
cool
Gras.
stuff?
The Crescent City Farmers Market.
All right.
So as
Good to
long as
know.
you eat a collection of colors on every plate, is that what you're saying? You should be looking pretty healthy.
That's
the
one
main-
step.
that's the
Yeah, I mean,
foundation.
it also depends ultimately on what your body needs and what it's going to metabolize, digest, absorb, utilize.
Do you ever just eat a cheeseburger? And just
I'm
have
not a
fun?
huge meat person, and I have.
okay.
I can't eat the bread on the cheeseburger.
Oh, I see.
You can't eat bread. Are you gluten free?
I am not by choice.
Not by choice.
I'm not doing it because it's the fad right now.
Okay. Oh, because you're gluten intolerant.
Yes.
What happens if you eat it?
I have some autoimmune conditions, and so my body basically attacks itself, and I get a little out of it.
Do you make your own burgers with gluten-free bread and such?
I have made fish burgers, but I'm not a big meat person.
Burgers.
I
out of
just
whatever.
recently
Fish is
started
not
eating
meat.
meat after a lifetime of not really liking it, and I find that the only meat that I like is more charcuterie.
Oh, yeah,
What's a fancy word?
It's like down here.
Yep.
Chef
You're
Kevin's
at
got all his
Wayfare.
own
Yeah,
meat
yeah.
here. You can go right
Brizzola.
in there and help yourself to anything.
Well, my office happens to be right next to St. James Cheese Company
Solid.
too, which is
Nice.
very convenient.
Does it really?
Perfect.
That is a great spot.
It's above
But
a wine store
Can you?
too.
That's a really good. Do you eat cheese?
Yes, I do. It doesn't always agree with me, but my mouth likes it.
So did you get into this whole thing because you're gluten intolerant? You have
No.
food problems?
No, I learned that a little bit later. My second semester in college, I had to take a class, and I just happened to move across the street from the gym when I moved into my dorms, and I was like, oh, this health thing could be interesting, and nutrition fulfills that general elective, I'll take it. And the second week into that, I said, I love it, I'm going to do this for the rest of my life.
And what were you going to do before that?
Undecided.
Really? You weren't going to be a songwriter?
I thought about being an engineer because someone told me women engineers were in demand. But I'm really glad I did not do that.
And even though what do they do, women engineers? Same as men engineers?
Drive trains.
Yeah,
Engineers.
I think there was a song about that.
I think you're
Which
right.
one is it? What's it called? You know? There's a song about it?
Once There Was an Engineer.
Really? Mm-hmm. I haven't. Who's that by?
It's a Grateful Dead song that.
Oh, okay.
Well, they covered somebody else's, I think.
Oh, I see. I haven't heard that.
As they do.
I don't know that one.
I don't know. Do you know it?
I don't know.
No, no one can play that.
Not a deadhead.
Sorry.
That would be a pretty. And they're pretty easy songs to play. Those Grateful Dead songs, though, right?
Are they?
I wouldn't know.
So how do people find you? You advertise, or
I am in the Natural Awakenings. That's about the only place I advertise.
so it's word of mouth?
A lot of it's word of mouth, yes, and
So
I get
what kind of
referrals.
person is telling each other about you? People who are sick.
People who are well, people who are sick, people who want to feel better, people who take supplements, not sure if it's worth the money, people who aren't feeling great. I do a lot of GI work too. A lot of people with Crohn's, ulcerative colitis, celiac disease, irritable bowel syndrome, gastroparesis.
Can you cure all this
Can
stuff?
we talk after the show?
I help a lot of people.
What have you got, Andy? You got some
a lot of things.
What do you? What's the main problem? See if we can help you. It's a free consultation. Otherwise, it's going to cost you $150 if you start.
A lot of acronyms I can't pronounce.
Really? You can't pronounce an acronym?
Isn't that weird?
I'd be looking into that first.
Oh.
It's kind of like CSNY.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to see a language specialist maybe. Then.
I'd start off with that. Do you have dyslexia or anything?
I don't think so. I don't know though. I haven't read in a very long time.
So have you been to a doctor and tried to heal yourself, or have you been doing self-medication or anything? Are you just putting up with it?
Yoga and meditation.
Well, that's good too, right?
You can heal a lot with both of those.
Right?
I recommend both of them very strongly.
Yeah. Yeah.
I sometimes tell people specific yoga poses to do.
Yeah.
What do you think about this evolution thing playing into the... let me finish the thought. I'm not there yet.
Okay.
What do you think about evolution playing into like the dietary philosophy? Do you find that...
Are you
kidding?
Kind of coming from a... what do you think
There's
about
books that people read these days. I'm not one of them.
The paleo diet?
Yeah, the paleo shit.
There's no one size fits all.
Yeah, sure.
And if you look at what the lifespan was on people in the Paleolithic times, it wasn't real long.
There you go.
But in general, I think we've really done a lot of damage with the genetic modification and the adulteration of all of our foods.
Yeah.
So going for non-genetically modified, going for as it comes off the tree, as it pops off the bush or comes out of the ground, that's what we should be eating, not a lot of the genetically modified stuff. We shouldn't be relying on a lot of the packaged stuff.
Here's the point, though. When people were eating in the 18th century, they lived a lot. They ate all those things, and they lived a lot shorter lives. So how do you explain that?
Because there was also less refrigeration,
more disease,
more food spoilage. Yes.
Okay.
Disease was not as well controlled, but there has been a time. I think now it's changed, but what I had heard maybe 4 or 5 years ago was that the lifespan of the people being born was actually shorter than their parents' lifespan.
In what time period was this?
5 years ago.
Oh.
No, that can't be true. We're living shorter than our parents?
Because of the childhood diabetes.
Is this in the United States of America?
Obesity worldwide.
Worldwide. People are living shorter lives.
The expectation was that they would live shorter lives because of the disease rates being earlier onset. And because of the...
that would be a revolutionary
Well, maybe it was like a lot more infant mortality takes the average down, so it's a bit of a misleading statistic, but still powerful information.
But you're saying that people are going to die younger because of obesity and diabetes.
Yes.
Principally.
Yes.
I think maybe...
and other diseases.
That's pretty big news for happy hour.
Those being some, yeah.
What about like 3D printers? Like eventually they're just going to be able to print your leg.
Question.
If you need a new leg, you're going to get it printed for you.
Can a 3D printer print a 3D printer?
It's a very overwhelming.
Whoa, you're getting quite philosophical over there. That's pretty good.
Yes, Danielle, don't listen to these people. Go ahead.
I like that idea though.
What, printing food?
I bet
printing
they could.
a 3D printer if you need a 3D printer.
It's all over when that happens.
No, ultimately what it comes down to is it's about making people feel better. You can't enjoy your life if you don't feel good.
Right.
And to introduce people to how good they feel when they eat that sort of thing on the span of a week even, because a lot of people have never eaten that way. I think that's something to be introduced. If only, some people of say limited means who can't afford the vegetables, can you throw them in the schools for a week and try it out and see how the kids feel, and the philosophies can change, can't they?
There are schools that do a lot of organically grown. They have their own gardens here and elsewhere too. Chefs that use sustainably sourced, not refined grains, no additives, etc. And in the schools where they've done that, they've seen test scores go up. They're standardized testing.
You feel better, as you're saying, and you can pay attention more. Most people
But
are
it's
looking
balance.
but by the time people get to see you, though, they must be. I mean,
They either don't
they're
feel
already,
good
they're
or
already
they
on
already
top of it. Something.
They're either on the right path or they don't
Right.
feel good, and they're really not
They're
on the right
desperate.
path.
Right.
But one of the things that keeps a lot of people from coming to see me is they think, oh, she's going to tell me I can't have French fries, or I can't have the cheeseburger, or I shouldn't be blah blah blah, whatever. No, it's about balance. We eat for multiple reasons. One of those is to nourish the physical body. We also eat for pleasure, for enjoyment, and that's really important. You have brain chemicals that increase that make you feel pleasure when you eat. So if you weren't supposed to feel pleasure, that wouldn't happen.
Is that
brings
right?
my
But it
craving for
needs to
peanut
be
butter M&Ms.
balanced.
Should you
Yeah.
just eat what you enjoy then? If you like to eat chocolate, should you eat a lot of chocolate? Is
Yes,
that natural?
I firmly believe in chocolate.
Well,
every day.
okay.
Dark chocolate, right?
Dark.
Yeah.
But I mean, in general,
Like the cacao nibs.
if you naturally want, if you naturally, hey, talking of food, Chef Kevin is here.
Yeah, just in
Hey,
time.
come on, good
Kevin,
time.
come on, bring
We're just
fast
talking
to the
about healthy
table.
nutrition. Chef Kevin is an awesome chef here. We're at Wayfare on Ferret Street,
yeah.
and I'm going to have him tell you what he's made for us over here. Yeah, grab a mic. Yeah.
Okay. Hello, everyone.
Hey, man.
Hello, Chef
Good to
Kevin.
see you again.
Good to be here, as always. Today we have Hogshead Cheese, which is what you do is you take a pig's head and you simmer it for about 5 to 6 hours. You take all the meat that comes off the head and make a concoction, and you take the braising liquid, which is very gelatinous, and it binds all the meats together, and you get Hogshead Cheese.
Love it.
It's not actually cheese, of course, but
No.
It has kind of has a texture of it. Yes.
do you give the pig a name when you get its head?
I try not to get too
Like
personal.
say, hey,
probably fair.
Steve, we're going to boil up
Probably
Steve's head.
fair. Yeah.
How did you learn how to make this? Because you were a chef in New York and everything. This is like a sort of southern thing.
Or
Or isn't it?
No, it's done all
What
over
is
the
it?
country, actually.
Oh, is
And
it
they-
really?
Yes.
Oh, I never heard about it till I came here.
And they have different names. In the Northeast, they'll call it scrapple.
Scrapple.
Mm-hmm.
That does sound better than Hogshead
What
cheese.
is it? The
And so-
hakuraki turnip?
It is a Japanese turnip. Very, very well done. And so it's very rich and luxurious, and you want to have a little pickle and spice to counter that richness of the Hogshead cheese. It is very, very rich, and
Is it nutritious?
of course it is.
Danielle?
It's full of protein.
Danielle's a nutritionist and dietitian.
analyzed, but I would believe that I haven't analyzed anything like that, but I would believe that if it's made from fresh ingredients, it's not going to be that bad.
It's protein.
How old?
Yep.
How old was the head when you got it?
Like a day.
And that was
it's-
just a couple of days ago.
it
So
comes straight from,
this is a 3-day-old dead pig's head, right?
There's a farm north
was
of here
gonna
called
ask that.
Chapapila Farms, and they do fresh organic pigs and ducks.
Do you
Yeah.
get most of your meats from there?
Pork products? Yes, but they don't do cows.
Do you ever do any duck
The other one.
anything with the duck eggs?
Not with duck eggs, but I do duck pastrami and duck prosciutto. I cure a
Ooh.
lot of my meats. You're welcome to try it after the show if you like.
Sure.
They're very good. Very good.
They make awesome sandwiches here. You can't eat sandwiches.
Unbelievable
though, 'cause
sandwiches.
No,
What
but
do you
I
do
like
with-
that salmon salad.
Oh, thank you. And that's fresh Scottish salmon. So, yes, everything is fresh and made from scratch.
That pesto is really good.
Thank you very much. That was my mother's.
That was your mom's recipe?
Yes.
Really? Was she a great
Actually,
cook as well?
She was. She was a nurse by trade, but she loved cooking. And my grandmother as well. Several of their recipes are on my menu. The coleslaw dressing and all sorts of other things. Tomato confit. Yes.
How
I
about
grew up around cooks.
what about your parents, Danielle? Do they like to eat healthy as well? Did you have a healthy food lifestyle growing up?
My mom is very healthy.
And your dad not so much.
My mom is very healthy.
Okay. You don't have to say anything bad about your dad. It's okay.
My mom
What
and
does he
I
like to
share
eat?
a lot of interests.
It's Creole
Yeah.
honey mustard vinaigrette.
It's delicious.
Kim, what do you think? Kim, have you been here before?
Never.
What do you think? Pretty awesome so far. Wait till you try a sandwich before you leave.
Oh, yeah.
The cocktails are good too.
Are you still chewing
they are.
gum?
No, too.
That's my first hogshead cheese, chef, so
How do you feel?
it's great. It was as good as I always thought it might be. Because I always loved the idea. I just never tried
I
it.
can't believe that there's anything healthy about Hogshead cheese, huh?
I think it's extremely healthy.
I mean, I love it. Don't get me wrong. I love it. But I just never in my life dreamed that it was
So
considered.
it can have some saturated fat, but you have saturated fat in every cell of your body. Your brain needs a fair amount of saturated fat. It just needs to be in balance with unsaturated fats.
So everything in moderation.
Well done.
Including moderation.
Yes.
Which
is
that's
what-
another good line.
Happy Carnival.
All right.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's good. Hey, yes, Kevin.
There's no gluten in that.
Okay, great.
And I have gluten-free bread as well for sandwiches.
Ah, I didn't know that.
Wow, very nice.
So you should get a sandwich.
So you can have that, all those sandwiches on gluten-free bread that you make.
All
Oh
of
my
them.
God.
And if they don't like gluten-free bread, I can turn every sandwich into a salad as well. So anything you see on a sandwich, the
Nice.
proteins can go onto a salad.
Wow, awesome.
That happens a lot.
My patients will love that.
Yes, send them my way.
I really like
Yeah.
this dressing.
Thank you so much.
Hey, we could do some sort of like a quid pro quo thing where you get paid off, like kickback.
Yeah. You can pay me
Everybody-
in pastrami.
Yes,
Do you have Brazola?
I do. I have goat brazola.
Ooh.
Oh yeah. Oh, come see me after the show.
Okay.
Nice.
Wow, now we're getting somewhere. Okay, so you have to see Kevin after the show about the goat brazola.
I do
And
goat-
you have to see Andy after the show about his,
IBS.
we don't know what it is, irritable bowel syndrome is what you have.
Yeah.
So I cure
No,
my
wait,
own
wait,
blood
wait. Hang
pressure.
on. This is going public, right?
No, nobody listens to this.
Do we have to
show,
talk
no.
about that while we eat?
Because I made that last part up.
Well, you guys want to play another song while you're here? See, I mean, did you?
I would like to
Or
hear
song.
another song.
Okay.
I want to
Thank
see
you, Graham.
her. I want to hear
Thank
her
you, Graham.
sing.
I have to go. Thank
Yeah,
you.
absolutely.
Kevin,
Sing
thank
another
you.
song?
Yeah.
Appreciate you so much.
I want to hear you sing. I want to hear another song.
Okay, let's do it.
It'd be great.
Hey,
And you play at Oak sometimes, don't you?
Sometimes.
Sophia, do you play an instrument as well?
I play piano.
You do?
Still learning though.
Yeah. How old are you?
I'm 13, about to turn 14 next month.
When's your birthday?
The 6th
6th of what?
February.
6th of February.
Nice.
I have a friend with that birthday.
You do? What's her name? First name only, in case she doesn't want you talking about it.
Chris.
Chris. Okay.
Sophia, you want to introduce this song?
This is Stars Go Blue by Ryan Adams.
Oh, love that song.
Dancing where the stars go blue. Dancing where the evening fell. Dancing in your wedding shoes. In a wedding gown.
Are you a big
So
Bryan
long.
Adams fan?
Actually, he introduced it to me, so that's one of the few songs that I've heard. But I like him.
He's playing Jazz Fest. That's what I was asking.
Yeah, I'm gonna
you.
try to go see him.
I'm a Ryan Adams fan. I love that guy. I'll see him at Jazz Fest for sure.
Are you playing Jazz Fest, Andy?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, second weekend.
You guys are not playing Jazz Fest yet, I see.
No, we're
But you
not.
do have a band.
We do.
So do you is this actually are you guys are you part of the band, or do you hire people?
It's a duo, but we hire musicians as needed, and we have a few musicians that we call on as recording for recording purposes.
But the band is you two guys, basically.
Basically,
So-
yes. Yeah, right. Yeah.
So Long Storyland.
So
Why'd you? I mean, I hate to ask people about why they, about names are so stupid. But why did you choose So Long
That's a good
Storyland? Why not
question.
just Storyland?
See, that's what we wanted. That's what, that was the original idea. But to counteract like trademark infringement, like there was other bands that are called Storyland, just Storyland.
It's like Spinal Tap,
yeah,
right?
like, or
Do you ever see
not.
Spinal Tap,
Well, yeah,
the movie?
yeah.
No, that's in Spinal Tap, where they started out as the originals, and then
Oh,
When
and
they
then
become the new originals.
then they became the new originals.
they come the new.
Exactly.
Is that's the name that they go under? The new
Oh,
original.
Yeah,
that
the new
was-
originals is second name.
Someone
I love
already
the
had the
movie.
original.
I tapped
so
into
the
America.
original.
Yeah. So yeah,
Not a
ideally
big
we would
college
want
town,
Storyland, just Storyland, but we had to add some sort of thing to it to make it original.
So it's
'Cause
so
we didn't
long.
want to fight that.
So you
Yeah.
put the comma in, right?
We didn't actually, but Grant here added it.
I'm
for
going
us.
to take a look on the website and see if there's a comma or not.
So I just thought it was called So Long Storyland because when they closed it down to redo it, so that's what it was. So.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's right. They actually did. There's construction there, which I
They
think
redid
is
the
pretty
whole place.
interesting. Yeah,
It's
yeah,
been
yeah.
there since I was
You
a
know
kid.
what? You might be right. There might be a comma on the website.
Thank
See?
you very much.
Way to
No,
go, Grant.
I validate
I
you.
wish I wish I was an attorney.
Like I said,
Well, I was
spell
wondering
check.
when I saw that. I was actually wondering if there are any other band names with a comma. In
You
it.
were
I
like-
didn't know Kim was going to drop in today. So,
Surprise.
have you ever seen a
Right.
band name with a comma in it? I don't think. I don't
I'm sure
remember.
if you Google it, there's probably a bunch of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they might not be famous, but
But I was wondering what the conversation was when you were coming up with a name about whether there should be a
yeah,
comma or
it
not.
was
That
just
like
Storyland.
Spinal
You know, we
Tap kind of.
felt like that was a colorful name enough, and then
Yeah.
so yeah,
Okay. Hey, we've
That's it.
practically got to the end of the show here.
practically.
Yeah, we almost have to get out of here and make room for actual paying customers.
Oh my God.
So before we go, though, just want to give everyone a chance to tell us what's going on. Stephen, what should we know about what's going on with you? Should we look for you? Are you doing anything we want to know about? Flowtribe?
Yeah, well, we're touring the country, and we'll be back for Jazz. Well, Mardi Gras, of course, a bunch of dates in Mardi Gras, and then Jazz Fest. We're playing the first Sunday on the Acura stage.
First Sunday Jazz Fest.
Yes.
Okay, what time? It's well, you don't know yet, I suppose.
Well, we do, but we can't say.
Are you not allowed to say?
But we were told not to. Not even
Sophia
supposed to
can't,
tell.
Sophia can't say what high school
Not
what
until the
school
cubes
she's going
come
to.
out.
I'm not-
You
yeah,
can't
exactly.
say what time.
I'm not even supposed to say what stage, but I did.
Yeah, Acura stage. I didn't hear that. So who's the big act that's coming to Jazz Fest that they're not telling us about? Anybody got any idea?
Oh, there's one that they're not telling us
Yes,
about?
Yeah.
Sunday, last day.
And who's it going
it's
to be?
TBA.
TBA. They're good,
Love that.
actually.
I hope they play their older stuff.
I love the third album.
So, Kim, anything we need to look out for? Anything you can tell us about? So, what's some good music we don't know about?
I listen to everything, so I'm not going to say everything. You know.
What have you got that you
But
love?
I've got
that
one
you're
band I
working
just signed a contract with for management, and they're called Dave's Highway.
on? Dave's Highway. Okay, so you heard it here
They're from
first.
outside of Memphis. They're a Christian band.
Christian band.
I've signed one of those before. I signed Need to Breathe and did extremely well for us. No, I was blown away by the vocals because I would say they're probably somewhat as strong as Little Big Town, which happens to be one of my favorite vocalizing groups when it comes to harmonies. It's very good. They're 17, 19, and 20.
Wow, cool.
The 17-year-old is the writer of the band. Well, actually, the trio. They're siblings. Several people were interested in the group, and they were going to have a lot of people coming to New York, but I went to Mountain View, Arkansas, and beat them all.
Oh,
nice.
I went with another guy that I'm managing it with. And
You know what might be good?
it's really, really, really solid. I think if you put all their YouTubes together, it'll probably have 1.5 million views.
Really? Already?
Well, yeah,
Wow,
well, they've
good
been
call.
together since they've been like, I think 15, 16.
Dave's Highway. You know what? If you're looking to sign a religious band, what about an Islamic band?
Ooh, topical.
I mean, seriously.
And I could do a video that would be like a cartoon or
You
something.
could
That'd be pretty cool.
well, you could do that, or you could do like a beheading video. That's probably
Too
going
soon.
a little bit.
Too soon.
Don't do that.
Makes me
But-
sound like I'm listening
but
to
you-
your show. And there's
But you know what I was thinking? If you can be a Christian, the reason you sign a Christian band is because there's a lot of people who buy Christian records.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Wouldn't there be a huge Islamic audience out there? English speaking even?
I don't know. It's not my style. I mean,
What style is it though? What do they listen to?
I have no idea.
People who,
I'm not
I mean,
Islamic.
I don't know, but they're living in America, they're living in England, they're living in France, they're living around the world where they buy the same records everybody else buys. There must be a market for it, right, Andrew?
I don't know, but if you like, it's just like you want to be part of it, you got to go to the epicenter. So if you went to the epicenter, and if you've never lived there or listened to it, then you don't really know what the score is, so you can't possibly know how to pick the right stuff. So yeah, it's not an issue. Sorry, Grant. Good idea. It's not a good idea.
Oh well, I just thought there's
I'll
a lot
research-
of people.
I'll research
Check
and
it
see
out.
how
Okay,
many
yeah.
people
Remember you heard it here
actually buy
first.
that music and
10%. Yeah. Okay.
And then I'll get some songwriters from Nashville. coming
Yeah.
in.
Yeah. Get Marty. What's his name? Okay, you guys in So Long Storyland's got a website called solongstoryland.com. Correct.
That's right, and we're on all the social media sites. Reverb Nation, SoundCloud, Twitter, whatever.
Okay.
Instagram.
Instagram.
Facebook.
And we have a link to all you guys on our website, including Danielle's nutrition
Yeah.
studio. What's it called? Clinic, I suppose, if you'd like to find out how to eat healthy and be healthy. It's right next to the St. James Cheese Factory and the wine cellar, right there on Britannia Street. Very
Down the
good.
street from Pizza Dominica, Kyoto,
Ah,
Great Nanu.
what a great spot.
Yes.
So you go to the nutritionist and you can go get a pizza?
Yeah, some of my patients, we go out to eat together.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
Really? Like on a date?
No, I also work with a lot of women with eating disorders, so it's a little bit of hands-on
Really?
work, yes.
Can you hear Skype ringing somewhere, somebody?
That's you.
Is that me? Is that my phone?
You don't know your
not
ringtone?
I don't know what that is. No, that sounded like Skype was ringing. Hey, let's get out of here, shall we?
Let's do
Thank
it.
you so much,
I got a
everybody,
gig
for
to make,
joining
Grant.
me. Okay, let's go. My special guests today have been Danielle Paciera, Stephen Klein, Kim Stevens, Andrew deBuys, and Sophia Preston from So Long Storyland. That's it. The producer of our show is Graham DePonte. Our associate producer and technical director is Chris Kehoe. Christian Unruh is our music director. Our theme song is currently being played by Mitch Foreman, who also wrote it. The fabulous audio quality of the show is brought to you in part by PreSonus Audio Electronics. If you'd like to be on our show, and you can stay upright for about an hour and sit around a table, drop us a line. Our address is on our website. You can also find many other shows called Happy Hour, as well as some of the other shows we produce here at itsneworleans.com, including Out to Lunch with Peter Raschuti, live from Commander's Palace, Mindset with psychiatrist Dr. Nick Pajic, True to the Game with Chris True, Midnight Menu +1 with Margot Moss and the Man Who Ate New Orleans, Ray Canada, and Louisiana Eats with Poppy Tucker. You can keep up with us on Facebook, on Twitter, and a bunch of other time-sucking social media as well. And all of it we're called It's New Orleans. You can find photos from this show on itsneworleans.com and on our Facebook and Google Plus pages. Those photos were taken by the fabulous and talented Douglas Engel. If you're listening to this show on iTunes or Stitcher or some other podcast app that you prefer, stop everything right now and take a moment to rate and review us. That helps other people find us. Our show is recorded live today at Wayfare on Ferret Street, where they put fine dining into a sandwich and fine Hogshead cheese onto a plate. As well as fine booze into a glass. They have a 3-hour happy hour down here from 4 to 7 every day. Come and check them out. You won't regret being at Wayfare on Ferret Street. Happy Hour is a production of INO Broadcasting for itsneworleans.com. For Andrew Duhon, for everyone around the table here at Wayfare and back at our office at INO, thank you so much for joining us. I'm Grant Morris. We'll see you back here next week on Happy Hour.
Right now, you can get both Sprint's unlimited plan and the all-new Samsung Galaxy S10 included for just $35 per month per line for 5 lines. All you need is approved credit and an 18-month lease. No trade-in required. Visit a Sprint store, sprint.com, or call 800-SPRINT-1.
S10 128 gigabyte, $10 a month after 2050 month credit applied, then 2 bills are canceled early and balance due. Unlimited basic after 930/20, pay $32 per month per line. Auto pay data defertilization to congestion speed maximums. Your stores and restrictions apply.